Jalen Brunson scored 43 points, becoming the fourth player in NBA history with 4 straight 40-point games in the postseason, and the New York Knicks beat the Indiana Pacers 121-117 on Monday in Game 1 of the Eastern Conference semifinals. Brunson had 21 in the fourth quarter, rallying the Knicks after they trailed by 9 early in the period, and joined Hall of Famers Jerry West, who had 6 consecutive 40-point games in the postseason, and Michael Jordan and Bernard King both with 4. Dante DiVincenzo hit the tie-breaking three-pointer with 39 seconds remaining and scored 25 for the Knicks, who opened the second round with the type of close finish that their first-round victory over Philadelphia was full of. Josh Hart added a playoff career-high 24 points and added 13 rebounds and 8 assists. The number 2 seeded Knicks will host Game 2 on Wednesday. Miles Turner scored 23 points for the 6th-seeded Pacers, who got strong play from their bench and were in good shape to follow their first-round ouster of Milwaukee by jumping to the lead against the Knicks. But Brunson guided New York through another tight finish, after it outscored Philadelphia by 1 total point over 6 games in the first round. Brunson soundly outplayed fellow All-Star point guard Tyrese Haliburton, the NBA's assists leader, who finished with 6 points and 8 assists after being listed as questionable with back spasms. Pascal Siakam scored 19 for Indiana and TJ McConnell added 18, leading a bench that finished with a whopping 46-3 advantage over its New York counterparts. The bench isn't a big priority for the Knicks, who will ride Brunson, Hart and DiVincenzo as far as they can take them. Hart played all 48 minutes, DiVincenzo 44 and Brunson 43. It was all enough to get the Knicks the early lead, their first in a series later than the first round since the 2000 East semifinals against Miami. They lost Eastern Conference Finals to the Pacers that year as part of their fierce playoff rivalry that began in the 1990s. The teams met 3 straight times from 1993 to 1995 and again from 1998 to 2000 when Thibodeau and Indiana's Rick Carlisle were assistants with their current teams. The renewal is off to a pretty eye-pleasing start. McConnell's basket made it 94-85 with about 10.5 minutes remaining and signaled an early end to what was supposed to be a rest for Brunson. He returned to spark an 8-0 run that got the Knicks right back into it, and when Indiana went back ahead 109-104 with 4:27 to go, he scored 7 points in a 9-0 burst that gave New York a 113-109 lead. The Pacers went back ahead 115-113 before Brunson tied it and DiVincenzo hit from behind the arc for the lead, just as he did in a Game 2 rally to beat the 76ers. Indiana's bench, which should be an advantage for the Pacers in the series, provided a strong start to the second quarter, and a 9-0 run just before the half gave the Pacers a 55-46 advantage. Isaiah Hartenstein's heave from beyond half court went in at the buzzer to make it a 6-point game at the break. The Knicks surged ahead by 5 with under 5 minutes remaining in the third, but once again the Pacers got a big boost from their bench, with 3 baskets from McConnell and 2 dunks from former Knicks forward Obi Toppin, one where he put the ball between his legs first like something from a slam dunk contest. Indiana took an 87-82 lead to the fourth after Turner's three-pointer as time expired. Hartenstein and OG Anunoby both finished with 13 points. Anthony Edwards and Karl Anthony Towns powered Minnesota's 106-80 blitz of the Denver Nuggets on Monday night. That gave the Timberwolves a 2-0 lead in the Western Conference semifinals over the reigning but reeling NBA champions. Towns and Edwards both scored 27 points as the Wolves improved to 6-0 in the playoffs and gave themselves a chance to close out the fuming Nuggets with wins Friday night and Sunday in Minneapolis. So dominant were the Wolves that they had the Nuggets throwing both Fitz, Michael Malone, and objects onto the court. Jamal Murray. Aaron Gordon led Denver with 20 points, Nikola Jokic had 16 points and 16 rebounds, but their third leading scorer was sub Justin Holiday with 13 points. Murray scored 8 points on 3 of 18 shooting. The Wolves staggered the Nuggets with body blow after body blow, even though their starting center Rudy Gobert was back home in Minneapolis attending the birth of his son Sunday. But they didn't need Gobert's shot-blocking prowess and rim protection on this night to continue their domination of the Nuggets at Ball Arena, where Denver was 36-8 before their back-to-back losses to Minnesota. Kyle Anderson replaced Gobert in the starting lineup, and the Timberwolves hounded Jokic and disrupted Denver's offense just the same. During a 43-18 first-half flourish by the Timberwolves, Edwards was on the bench for much of it. No less, the Nuggets grew so frustrated that Malone ran way out onto the court and got in official Mark Davis's face for an extended blow-up during a timeout and somehow avoided a technical. So did Murray after Denver's ailing point guard threw a heat pack onto the court in frustration as Towns was about to score on a layup in the second quarter. It wasn't clear if the officials realized it was Murray who threw the object onto the court and not a fan. He will likely face punishment from the league, however. Frustrated by their slow starts, the Nuggets have trailed by double digits in 6 of their 7 playoff games and by 9 in the other. Malone challenged his team to get off to a strong start for once. Only Aaron Gordon heeded his coach's call, scoring 13 quick points, including a three-pointer that brought the Nuggets to 18-17 late in the first quarter. Things unraveled for Denver after that because Jokic was the only other starter to score for the Nuggets before the second quarter. Jokic had just 8 points by halftime and Murray, still bothered by a strained left calf, scored just 2 first-half points for the duo's worst offensive output in a half this season. Trailing 61-35 at the break, the Nuggets' 26-point halftime deficit was Denver's largest in a home playoff game in franchise history. The Wolves led 82-60 after 3 quarters and cruised the rest of the way.